Hi again. This is Senator Laura Ebke. Welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk. Today we're going to talk about liberty. In recent weeks, my opponent has referred to me as a radical libertarian with a radical libertarian agenda, and to my supporters as libertarian zealots. Why exactly is he scared of liberty? The Declaration of Independence says that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Pledge of Allegiance says, with liberty and justice for all. It seems to me that liberty is a fundamental concept to our American system. So what is liberty in our American system, and what isn't it? And more importantly, who are these libertarians? Liberty, simply put, is the state of maximum freedom. More specifically, it's the state of maximum freedom without doing harm to others. So let's talk about libertarians. There are two kinds of libertarians. Small L libertarians are people who believe in the general concept of liberty. They may be nonpartisans, they may be Republicans, they may be Democrats, but many are big L libertarians. The Big L Libertarian is part of a political party with a higher proportion of libertarians than other parties. Here's a question. If libertarians can be Republicans or Democrats, why do we need another party for libertarians? Well, why not? Why should people only have two choices? Think of it like churches. In the Christian faith, Christians aren't divided up into just two denominations. We have Roman Catholics and Protestants, of course, but we also have Methodists, Presbyterians, Lutherans, Congregationalists, Pentecostals, and a whole lot of other options. We would find that the core principles of Christianity can be found in all of the denominations. So why do people pick one over the other? Well, maybe it's because of family background, maybe because that's what's available in their community, or maybe because they felt unwelcome in one denomination. So what are the key principles of libertarianism? Well, there are a lot, but here are the main ones. Smaller government, lower taxes, more individual freedom, and free markets. Let's look at them all. Let's talk about smaller government. Most all libertarians agree that government should be smaller than it is today. Some libertarians believe it should be drastically smaller or even non-existent. Libertarians, even within the Libertarian Party, don't necessarily agree on the scope of smaller government. Lower taxes. All libertarians don't agree on how much in taxes is too much, but most libertarians agree that we are all taxed too much today. Libertarians look for ways to reduce your overall tax bill, and they believe that can only be done by reducing the size of government. Of course, how much is too much tax? That's something that lots of libertarians argue about and think about a lot. Individual freedom. Libertarians believe in the founding principles in the Declaration of Independence: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Libertarians also generally believe in live and let live, meaning that while they might not agree with what you're doing or do what you're doing, as long as you aren't harming someone else, it's none of their business. Basically, libertarians live by the principles of don't hurt people and don't take their stuff. Free markets. Libertarians believe that free markets work best and that the free market is the most efficient economy out there. Libertarians generally dislike government subsidies or incentives to produce or not produce because it means taking money from someone else in order to distort the free market to someone else's benefit. There are quite a few people in history who have been libertarian-leaning. You may have heard of some of them. They weren't big L libertarians because the party, founded in 1971, wasn't around yet. The third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, who was also the author of the Declaration of Independence and wrote about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, was certainly a libertarian of sorts. Silent Cal, Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, was a libertarian of sorts. While he was a registered Republican, President of the United States, he also believed that government should be as small as absolutely possible. Senator Barry Goldwater, who uttered those famous words, "Extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice," in 1964, was a U.S. Senator, 1964 Republican presidential candidate. While President John F. Kennedy was a registered Democrat, he certainly had some libertarian leanings, especially in the area of economics. Every dollar released from taxation that is spared or invested will help create a new job and a new salary. We've already heard from Nobel economist Milton Friedman, who actually referred to himself in a number of occasions as an actual libertarian. He was a big promoter of free market economics and wrote a great book called Free to Choose, which became a PBS series back in the 70s. And finally, our 40th president, Ronald Reagan. Reagan once said that he believed that modern conservatism, as he understood it back in the 70s and 80s, derived its ideology or its ideas from libertarianism. I realize that not everybody is going to agree with everything that libertarians believe. But here's the question. What's so scary about liberty? Is it the smaller government, or the lower taxes, or the personal freedom? Or is it free market economics? You're not really afraid of liberty, are you?